So 12 years in prison straight. I'm not proud of it, but look, I'm dropping a playlist titled My Journey. A lot of people have been tapping in. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. And like, I'm really like, I'm touching people's hearts and their minds. So I'm definitely happy about that. So if you see a smile on my face, you know, I've been through some shit, but I'm giving it meaning and it feels good. So look, if you're just tapping in, this is like part 13. This is like part 13 of the journey. Go back and watch the full story. I'm taking y'all through a journey of when I was about 15 years old and homeless, up to the time I caught my case, up to my 12-year prison sentence, up to my life right now. So last I left off, I just got pulled off the pod again by CO. So the CO pretty much pulled me out because I had marks. I had been fighting. This bite mark was fresh on me. I had a busted lip because I had been catching. I caught the fade with my celly. So he had let me go back in there, but then pulled me out again. So look, when I went back in there, I told my celly, and I told a couple people like, hey, the police is woo woo. Like, just let them know what's going on. Like, it's always a good thing, like, when you in there, to let people know what's going on if the police is fucking with you. So if you do get snatched up, it's not weird. So I'm like, hey, bro, like, the police is, like, tripping. They talking about woo, 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 woo. And he's like, what'd you tell him? I'm like, shit, I told him nothing. Like, I didn't explain nothing, but shit, I ain't tell him nothing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, ain't nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? So police end up doubling back on me, and they're trying to tell me they're trying to snatch me up again. And I'm in my cell like, for what? Like, why? Where you taking me? Where you taking me? My cellie in the background like, you good, bro? Just go. Because you can tell he'd been fighting too. So he in the background like, you good, bro? Just go. Just go, bro. You good. He don't want the police to linger around and maybe see that young put two and two together, and we both get snatched up. So I'm like, man, whatever. So I go back out there. Long story short, they try to put me in involuntary PC. I ain't going. Nah, I'm finna sign this paper that say I'm safe, and then I signed the paper like I'm good, like I'm safe. I don't need to be nowhere. It was either I signed the paper to say I was safe. Yeah, I signed the paper to say I was safe. And I'm like, I go back to my pod now. He's like, nah, you ain't going back. And I'm like, where the fuck you taking me? Ooh, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping. Then it moved me to another pod. So what I forgot to bring up to y'all is that right before this, I had a court date on my birthday, the day I turned 19 years old. I had actually signed a plea. So in between that last time I had went to the hole, like after I tried to fire out my lawyer, like soon after that, I had signed a plea. I signed an open plea. So if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically when you sign a plea with a range of years or months or whatever. I signed a plea for 10 to 16 years. That means that judge can give me as low as 10, as high as 16 years. And you know, everybody was like, that's a really good plea. That's a really good plea. And right before I got the plea, you know, I was like, man, I think I can beat this. I think I'm finna go to the box. You know, I don't give a fool, talking all that tough shit. Yeah, then they started to set my court dates out 15 and 20 days apart instead of 45. And I'm in there like, hey, what's up with this? Like, bro, where's the settlement conference? Like, what we doing? Like, I ain't trying to go to that box. Are you crazy, mother? You crazy. I'm good. Well, I signed. So they offered me this plea, and the whole time my lawyer was like, I think I can get you 12. I think I can get you 12. I think I can get you 12. Just nonchalant, I think I can get you 12. Whatever. So I had a court date on my birthday. My birthday was July 10th, you know what I'm saying? So I went to court on that day, just turned 19 years old. I was a little nervous, you know, walked into a big old courtroom. My mom was there. My dad was there. My sisters were there. But when I went out there, so look, before this, so I tell you my lawyer's piece of shit. Before this, I was telling my lawyer, my sentence was coming up. I'm like, I want a mitigation specialist. He's like, you can't get a mitigation specialist for second-degree murder. Because that's what I was pleading down to from first to second. I'm like, I want a mitigation specialist. He's like, no, you can't get one for your charge for second-degree murder. They don't have those. Mind you, I know he's lying to me. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't need one. Whatever. He's a lying piece of shit. So I go to get sentenced. I go in there. And he's like, he pushed his button. There's a button so the court can't hear you on the microphone. He's like, look, we need to reschedule this court date. I'm like, nah, we ain't rescheduling nothing. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You understand? Let's go. He's like, nah, we need to get you a mitigation. I'm like, I thought you said they ain't have them for my charge. He's like, no, we're going to get you a mitigation specialist. I was just like, man, you punk ass bitch. Like, so in my mind, what had happened was he was being lazy, didn't want to get me one, but when I went to court, the prosecutor was probably trying to blame me, so he had to give me a mitigation specialist. Just lazy, cutting corners, playing with my life. At least that's what I think it was. So anyway, by the time I got moved, By the time I got moved, I was waiting for my next court date. So I'm really just in there chilling, waiting for my next court date. I got moved to another pod. Bunch of old people back on the second floor. Bunch of medical. It was a medical pod. Bunch of old people just in there chilling, working out. You know what I mean? Whatever. Every day was boring. And the time comes for me to finally go to court and get sentenced. So when it was time for me to go to court and get sentenced, mitigation specialist had come to see me. And I remember like being like really embarrassed because the lady that came to do my pre-sentence report, she was so beautiful. Like she was like Mexican. She was short. She had braces. She was wearing Gucci glasses, long black hair. She was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so like she asked me questions about like how I was living before I got locked up. And what am I gonna do? Till I was out there getting money from robbing and doing all this other shit? That's the police. So I'm just like, I didn't have a job. I didn't go to school. Like, it just made me feel like lowly. Like, it just kind of gave me a different perspective of like, damn, is this how I was really spending my time? Like, I was doing this other thing, but at the end of the day, like, is this my life story? Like, this, I have no accomplishments. Like, what am I? I was just humiliated. I'll be honest, I was humiliated. And it made it worse because she was so gorgeous. So, I ended up going to court. And, you know, I had a letter I wrote to the judge. My family had sent some letters. My mom was there. My little sisters was there. And so I'm waiting the sentence day. And, you know, you sitting in the tank, you chilling. I heard I had a nice judge, like a merciful judge, like someone who wasn't always trying to throw the book at people. And so I'm in there just chilling, waiting. And when it's my turn, the police come. I was the last person to go. The police come. He's like, hey, you ready? I remember I looked up at him. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, I ain't ready. And he's like, come on, it's time to go. All right, stood up, stick my chest out a little bit. I went out there. I see my little sisters, my mama, and I see the victim's mother, prosecutor, everybody, the judge, whatever. Smaller courtroom. The last time, I don't know why they had us in that big courtroom. The first time, I give my spiel, you know, I apologize to the victim's mother. My sister spoke, but I went last. And as I was going, you know, the judge was like, okay, you know, like it kind of seemed like he already had his mind made up. But I didn't expect to get 12 years. I didn't expect to get out in my 20s because I'm 10 to 16. That means I had to get either 12 years or less to get out of my 20s. So I'm like, just statistically speaking, I got a higher chance of getting out in my 30s. You know what I mean? So he told me like, yeah, you know, whatever happens, you're still gonna be a very young man, no matter how much I give you, you know, woo. And I'm like, oh, he finna ban me. In my mind, I'm like, he finna ban me, bro. He finna ban me. He finna give me 16. He finna give me 16 years. I've been alive 17. He finna give me 16. That's what's happening in my mind. So he gives this spiel and is like, you know, woo, consideration with this. I hereby sentence you to 12 years in the Department of Corrections. You know, woo. He said 12 years. I'm geeked. I'm not showing it, but I'm happy. I'm like, I'm blessed. Shit. I got 12 years. Like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which sounds crazy, but what you need to understand, when people first get in the county, everybody want to go to trial. Everybody beating their case, they say. Running to him 10 months later, he done somehow made 20 years seem like not that long. What you experience in there is basically a coping mechanism. You're trying to hold on to your sanity. You know what I'm saying? You're using different points of reference to justify what you may be facing. When you first get locked, listen, you on the street, you don't know nobody that go to jail, and your homie get locked up, and he get a year. In your mind, you like, this shit is over. He's done. I'll never see him again. When you in county for 6, 7, 8 months, you seen the type of evidence they got, you seen what other people get, you tell yourself, like, shit, I could do 10. Prosecutor ain't budging. Now you say, I can do 15. You know, you trying to cope. You trying to stay sane. So it gave me 12 years. I'll never forget. On my way out, my 2 little sisters, polar opposites like me and my brother. My first little sister was crying. She was a wreck. My baby sister, who's younger and just like me, she happy. She's smiling. She waving at me. She's like, yeah, you did good. She's 10 years younger than me, but I'll never forget. This is like, there's 2 situations where I knew she was different. And that's one of them. She understood that I won, just like I did. Everybody else seen an emergency, but in that small moment, me and my baby sister both felt like it was a blessing. And they took me back to the holding cell, and I was ready to get transferred, go back to the pod and wait for them to take me to prison.